Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is day 10. I made it, y'all. Day 10 of my social media sabbatical. Let's talk about establishing trust. Establishing trust is powerful. I remember the Dalai Lama mentioned that you can't buy trust in the supermarket. Now that is powerful. That's not the full quote, but I remember that when he said you cannot buy trust in the supermarket. Mm. What do you think about that? I believe trust is the foundation of all transactions. People don't want to waste money, they don't want poor quality, and they don't want to be treated unfairly. And if they don't trust you, or if they feel like you're going to waste their money, they're going to get poor quality, poor service, a poor product, be treated unfairly, they will walk away. Now, trust is big for entrepreneurs and business owners, even creatives, creative entrepreneurs. As you build customer loyalty and retention, you don't want those one-time buyers. You want to build a relationship, build rapport, have them trust you. It lowers barriers, lowering barriers so they could buy again and maybe buy more products or explore more of your services. Build that relationship, build rapport. You want to establish trust with your partners, your suppliers, your investors, your employers, employees, everyone that you do business with. You want to establish that trust. It is important and it enables growth and builds partnerships. It provides resilience through challenges. You know, people give you the benefit of the doubt and time to make things right. Without that trust, the same crisis could be fatal to your business. Trust reduces friction and also costs. If they trust you and you don't have all the means or all the funds, but make it up to them, they will have to trust you that you will make it up to them and that you really don't have the funds and that you're not trying to get over on them and that you're really trying to work with them for the long term. Trust is big with negotiations. No one wants to feel one-sided or like they're getting controlled or they're getting taken advantage of. Trust, trust, trust. You have to establish that trust. It's big for your credibility, getting positive testimonials and reviews and case studies. Validation is great for referrals. If people trust you and they build trust with you and you build trust with them, they're going to refer you to their friends, their partners, their family. It's as simple as that. That's how you gain more business. That's how you become more trustworthy, more credible, and have consistent business with many, many people, man. Again, with your suppliers, your investors, and partners, because you become reliable. You want to be transparent and honest. Be as transparent and honest by being open. That's a good business practice. And it's good for pricing and decision making. Now, there's many different ways to build trust and establish trust. And those are some of the ways. But it's truly being authentic and having clear, very clear communication with your customers, your stakeholders, the public, your partners, and especially your employees and contractors. No matter what business you're in, you have to have trust with everyone you work with and everyone who is consuming your product or service. It is very, very important and vital. Now, people love working with me because I'm open and honest. And if I'm behind on a deadline, I am brutally open and honest, and I communicate that. And I've built trust with different people. Even if I miss the deadline or run it behind a couple days, you have to communicate. You still have to be reliable. You still have to deliver consistently. Just be transparent and honest. That's the biggest way to establish trust in your field, in your industry. Once you break that trust or feel like you're not trustworthy, oh, it's hard. It is very hard to get it back. Now, there's many times where I work with people that wasn't trustworthy. I thought that was a good fit. I thought that was one of the top of the industry, the best. But something rubbed me a wrong way. I felt like I couldn't trust them or trust them anymore. And my gut was right. I couldn't trust them or anything that they were saying. And they was talking about over delivering when they didn't even deliver at all. And that hurts. And there's a lot of people. Let's use the real estate industry as I'm currently in Vegas. Yes, I made it to Vegas. About to attend the BP Con, and I'll be doing some BP Con recap, so stay tuned for that. But if you're working with different contractors as an investor, and you pay them all the money up front, and they don't have the right business license or identification or bond numbers, and you trust them, and you give them all the money up front, and they do none of the work and they run off with the money, then what? You left without a finished project, unfinished home, non-renovated, and no capital, no money. You trust them a little too much, a little too quickly, a little too hard. It's damaging and it hurts. But build rapport, interview, talk with these people, build that trust, establish trust first, have them trust you, then trust them by asking qualifying questions. Start little, up front, ease your way into the relationship, and then start paying out more or doing more work and being consistent, but have that clear communication up front. It's just powerful. And again, made it to Vegas finally, so I'm looking forward to BPCon and establishing trust with many of these real estate investors and real estate agents, and looking for strategic partners. Maybe I could help them with podcast production or video production in general, as I am in the media field. And I'm sure they have the money and they need content or they need visuals for their property, whether that's video walkthroughs or pictures of these houses, mansions, buildings. So, have to shake hands, establish that trust, build that rapport, tell them my story, tell them all that I've done, and be honest and candid. If I haven't done something, I will let them know. But I'm interested in learning and growing and trying it out. This may be my first time. This may be my 10th time. This may be my 100th time. I'm probably never ever done it or never even heard of it. But I have to be brutally honest and transparent. I have to be vulnerable, and people have to be vulnerable with me. But we have to get to that point. So start slowly. Establish that trust in the right way. Ask those qualifying questions. So, how do you feel? How do you establish trust? I gave you some ways and some examples. I really want to know how you establish trust, how you build that rapport with others and gain loyal customers and retention and keep people coming back and referring your business and your products and your services and your artwork. What helps you grow and build partners, establish trust with different investors and suppliers and strategic partners, and gain good employees. Something to think about, right? Existing trust can act as a buffer instead of a barrier. It reduces a lot of friction. If I could trust or count on someone in a pinch, I'm not able to be there physically. I trust this person dearly. Ooh, that is so good, a great feeling. When you could just count on somebody and you know they're going to get the job done and do it well, maybe sometimes better than you. And that's all about, hiring the right people or contractors and not being afraid to delegate. You have to gain that trust and they have to gain that trust with you. It's important to establish trust in your life, in your business, in your relationships, whether that's friendships, partnerships, romantic relationships, with your family, with your job, employers and employees, colleagues. It's important to establish trust. All right. So again, establish that trust and build rapport. Make sure your credibility goes a long way. You want people to refer you and your business, your product, your service. Establish that trust. All right, y'all. This is Photographer Jackson, Steve Jackson of Alien Eyez Photos Media. And this is Alien Eyez Photos Industry Talk. This is day 10 of my social media sabbatical. Stay tuned to what is to come. as I'll be building out an ebook around my 10-day social media sabbatical as I documented the whole process. And I'll be telling my story. I'll be transcribing episodes for you all. And, providing a little more detail with each episode and building out a course. So stay tuned for it all. And if you want to book me as an event photographer, video production, or business coach, let's have an ideation session. Let's talk business strategy. Well, if any of those ring your bell, if you need help, you could visit alieneyesphotos.com. That's alien eyes with a Z, photos with a S, alieneyesphotos.com. And I'll be back on social media tomorrow, y'all. And follow me at Alien Eyes Photos. Just as Alien Eyes Photos. Alien Eyes with a Z, Photos with a S. On all social media. And be sure to follow on a creative frequency on all social media. We're doing it big over there on Instagram, IG, and YouTube. Creative frequency. But our page is on a creative frequency. And that's me and Brianna Casanova helping inspiring you to be creative no matter what, as we show a lot of behind the scenes of our work and our creative process. Again, that's on a creative frequency. And I'm Mr. Alien Eyes Photos, Photographer Jackson. And I am signing out.